Hey guys. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on currently with Steven Crowder, who is a pretty well-known conservative YouTuber. Um, he's got a few videos lately that kind of explain what's happening. There's been some drama, if you will, between himself and this other social media personality named Carlos Maza. And I don't want to go into a whole long backstory of who's mad at who and why, but basically, Steven Crowder has responded to a lot of Carlos Maza's videos with rebuttal videos of his own. And Steven Crowder is a comedian, and some of his comments are, what might be considered inflammatory or rude, you know, kind of making fun of Carlos Maza. And apparently this has caused a huge firestorm of controversy to the point where Carlos Maza was calling on people to flag and report Steven Crowder's videos to try to punish him for what he had done, I guess. And I think it was 2 days ago, YouTube responded by saying that they had reviewed the issue and had determined that while Steven Crowder said some hurtful things, he had not violated any of their policies and they weren't going to take any further action. This, of course, was not met kindly by Carlos Maza and friends, and they all sort of went on a rampage and piled on the pressure all over social media. And then this morning, YouTube came back with another response and was like, we've looked at this again more closely, and we've decided to demonetize Steven Crowder's channel. Um, and I'm gonna put a link in the description below to one of Steven Crowder's videos where he talks a bit about this and explains more of what happened. I'm also going to put a link down there to a video of Daisy Cousens, who I am a huge fan of, and she puts a really, really good spin on this. But more, I don't want to focus too much on this particular set of people. It's not really about Steven Crowder or Carlos Maza. What I'm really frustrated with here is the hypocrisy and weakness of YouTube, what they did here. They went from saying, we reviewed this and we're not going to do anything about it, it's not a big deal, to completely stripping this man's YouTube income, which I imagine is pretty substantial and probably a huge portion of how he supports himself. Now, between YouTube's first response and second response, nothing changed. What happened between Steven Crowder and Carlos Maza did not change between June 4th and June 6th. So the second response that YouTube gave, in my opinion, is bullshit. Because it only changed because enough people fussed and whined and bitched about it. And that's not cool. That's hypocrisy and bias and spinelessness. To say one day, this is okay, it's not a big deal, and then when people whine and cry about it, suddenly you decide that it is a problem. That's not the way reality works. It either was a problem originally or it wasn't. You don't get to change the truth halfway through because someone else gets upset. There's been a lot of stuff going on with YouTube for the past couple of years, and I'm not going to get into all of it now. but YouTube is not the open, free idea and creativity sharing platform that it originally was. It's a far cry from it, with people being demonetized, people being banned, YouTube messing with view counts and likes, and there's just so much stuff going on behind the scenes. And I don't know if it's going to get worse or better, but it's just not cool what YouTube did here. You know, regardless of the people that were involved, just what they did is there's just so much hypocrisy in it. Oh, also on top of this, they today updated their hate speech policy. All right, so let me read a little bit of this to you. I'll start at the beginning. YouTube has always had rules of the road, including a long-standing policy against hate speech. In 2017, we introduced a tougher stance towards videos with supremacist content, including limiting recommendations and features like comments and the ability to share the video. This step dramatically reduced views to these videos, on average 80%. Here's the good part. Today, we're taking another step in our hate speech policy by specifically prohibiting videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion based on qualities like age, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status. Now, big problem with this, because there are many YouTubers who go against this policy, and I highly doubt that they are all going to be censored or banned or demonetized. For instance, Jaclyn Glenn. I used to be a big fan of hers. I still think that she's a very intelligent and funny person, but she likes to make videos that mock and belittle and insult people of faith. She is a very, very, very outspoken atheist. And that's fine. And personally, I don't think that there should be such a thing as hate speech. This is America. I am a very, very, very firm believer in free speech and not censoring. I think that I would much rather see a YouTube where people are free to be offensive and have freedom to speak their minds and say what they think and believe and possibly offend someone, than to have all of this increasingly tight censorship on everybody, which is never applied evenly or fairly or without hypocrisy. It's just not possible. So going back to Jaclyn Glenn, she's just an example. She violates this new YouTube hate speech policy all the time in many ways. And again, this says that videos should be prohibited if they allege that a group is superior based on qualities like religion, which is what she does. She constantly says that Christians are, delusional and less intelligent and abusive, and that, atheism is the enlightened state of being. And I would rather that she be free to say that and not be censored. But if YouTube is going to put this policy in place, then her channel should be demonetized. It's ridiculous to demonetize Steven Crowder for using the word queer when Carlos Maza calls himself queer constantly.
But then over on the other end, people like Jacqueline Glenn can make fun and belittle and name call Christians left and right, and nothing happens to them. So, just a lot of hypocrisy and prejudice and bias, and a very uneven application of the rules here on YouTube right now. And I think that concludes my first rant. So I'm going to put links down below for the videos for Steven Crowder, Daisy Cousens' video about it. And I'll see you next time.